Welcome to the Vent, Rebuild, Refocus podcast presented by WeChat here. I'm your host, that boy Reckless, and I have the one and only Wolf with me today. My brother.
Yeah.
So we're here and we just want to chat today, understand about being impactful, understand. Because I believe sometimes to have an impact on somebody's life it's overlooked, understand. And I'm gonna liken it to charity, understand. So we have charity in the world, and I think charity is a good thing, understand.
Absolutely.
And I think when we get into annual charity, how impactful is that really?
Take that a lot of different ways. We can go dive off
Like,
into.
everybody dive into it, understand, because it's like, if I have to give charity to a community every year,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Am I really having an impact in the community?
Personally, no.
Okay. Why do you like? Let's talk about it.
Because that's just like giving to a charity, giving to church. That's fine and dandy, but an annual it steps it outside of the actual box that it needs to be in. Which meaning is that okay, I'm giving you this every year. What is it doing? Right? What is it affecting? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing to pay a bill and keep the lights on, but that's a constant repeating thing. But what I'm saying and what I'm getting at is that me giving is different from me going to an end. Me giving this, okay, I'm about to give this to you. It's either going to make you or break you. You understand? Either it's going to uplift you or it's going to downlift you. So me going to an annual giving is like, oh, okay, well, they're going to expect this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're going to expect this every year. Whether no matter what I get, what is it doing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you can give me a lot of different scenarios of what it's doing, but what is actually impacting.
Right.
That's my whole purpose of giving.
Right. So we definitely give, well, we should give
Right.
for the impact, but not just for the day impact.
Right.
It should be like a residual impact, understand? So where it's like what's the phrase? You feed a man for a day. Well, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for the day. If you teach him how to fish, you feed him for the rest of his life.
Right. Absolutely.
So it's like my thing is I want to be impactful to where you don't need charity. Right? Like this community, okay, we just did this whatever drive, and then the next year we're gonna do whatever drive, and then the next year, and then the next year. Well, how do I impact the community to where they don't even need the drive any longer?
Right. Showing them something that's gonna be longevity.
Right. Understand
to where it ain't gonna be an everyday thing. It's not gonna have a date put on it.
This is to me true community building.
Right.
To where we're actually building the community to be self-sufficient, understand?
Yes.
Through mental health awareness, right? Through financial literacy, through a whole plethora of means. And I'm like I said, I'm not bashing charity,
No.
but when we get into the habit of just giving but not cultivating, I think it's a disservice for the community.
Absolutely.
Understand? We want to cultivate communities to where they're self-sufficient,
right,
and not just handouts.
Yeah, or handicapping this so much.
Right.
Understand? But that means you got to keep in mind, a lot of people are gonna be expecting a turkey giveaway. You know what I'm saying? Well, we can just do that rather.
They looking forward. Yeah. So now imagine this, right? On these drives, you're taking the names of these families that's actually partaking of it, and then that 357, understand that 354 rather, you're building them families up so they don't even need to drive anymore, understand? And then they could help other families. So now
Like a chain reaction.
right, it's a chain reaction. That's how you community build. Understand?
Right, you're absolutely right. That's how I see it. I'm saying, but you got a lot of people that community build and want something back, want something in return. So it's like, you can't say this and then do that.
So just to FYI, a lot of um a lot of charitable events are write offable. Understand? And I'm not here to question the intent of the masses,
No.
right? But it is a tax write off if you contribute X amount of money.
Right.
You get that right back. Understand?
So it's really it's something for nothing.
Correct.
You got like something.
Not yet. No, it's like I'm doing this, but I'm getting it back. So are you doing it for the cultivation of the community, or are you doing it for the look?
That's based off the individual. And then not only that, it's gonna show.
But watch this. I know what I look at. If we're doing it annually, for me, that's not helping or cultivating the community.
No, not at all.
Understand?
But if we can do it just one time, and it's an overwhelming success,
Mm-hmm.
and then next year we can talk about it. Well, we got to do it again.
Because sometimes it's not going to take one time, right, to get a community out of a rut. It's a question. It's okay after the giveaways, whatever. What are we doing after that to sustain this message of charity?
Well, most people go back to their regular life.
See, right there, this is to where I have the problem. It's like, okay, we did this event, right? So we're just living event to event, but the in between, we're not cultivating. We're gonna do the turkey drive. We're gonna do the toy drive for Christmas. We're gonna do the back to school drive. It's almost like we're doing a traditional
Service.
service of the holidays.
Yeah, that's what it is.
We're gonna do the costume drive. We're gonna follow these holidays. We're gonna follow these certain times, and we're gonna do drives. But we're not gonna cultivate the body.
Yeah, but that ain't work.
We're not gonna teach them. Hey, listen, this is how you set a budget. This is how you write a resume. This is business casual attire. This is non-business casual. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Right. This is the difference between the CEO. This is the difference between the president. This is the difference between the owner.
These careers. Understand? It's not just ball player, football player, baseball player.
Everybody got their own position.
Yeah. So it's like what, and that's what I'm calling out. Understand? I'm calling out the in between.
Right.
Of course, the drive is beneficial to the point of we're actually giving tangible items to children that may not have it.
Right.
Right. That's always dope. But after, what are we doing?
I'm gonna give you an example. Just like with the NBA, they're now it's transitioned now to where we're gonna put our faith in you as a franchise to see if you can help us win a championship.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of us going back and doing all of our total research on the numbers that you put up in high school, the numbers you put up in the college, those numbers should be able to find right along with me seeing your video of you working to determine, okay, well, yeah, we're going to give them instead of now it's like, oh, well, we're going to give you these millions of dollars. Hopefully you work out.
No, yeah.
So it's like you really didn't work for it. Yeah, you worked for it through high school and college, but you're in the pros now, man. It's like it's like a giveaway.
So, yeah, pros is the next level. Listen, the next levels always have to be fought for harder than understand.
Yeah. But see, you got people now that will get into the league, got the money. Now they don't want to work. They just gonna go out and do what they do
because they got the money.
Right. They already got what they want.
See, this is fact, right? And this is still on topic. Watch this. That was their goal. this is the difference between, you know, having an impact in the community and just giving charity to the community, right?
Right.
So if I'm just working from high school level to the collegiate level to get paid in the NBA, and when I make it to the NBA, that's guaranteed money. I actually accomplished what I wanted.
Well, in that aspect, right.
No, but if I have the passion,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
to be an impact in the league, I'ma still work after I get the money.
You gotta go twice as hard,
Right.
because you already got what you want.
Just about the recognition, but it's impact. Yeah, absolutely. And I liken that when you bring it up to, okay, charity. We could give charity.
And do that all day, every day.
Anybody could do that.
Right. Yeah. In fact, anybody can do it.
But impact.
Right. That's a difference. It's a big difference. Yeah.
After the charitable event.
Right.
Because the community still got to stand.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if I have to have this annual charitable event, how great is the community standing? If it's still after every year looking for this charitable event.
Right. And then you just ain't doing nothing but changing the number with it at that point.
That's it.
1, 2, 3.
So yeah, I get the plaque. Oh yeah, he donated X amount of money. Okay, grand. Tax come, I'll write that right on. People don't see it.
Nah.
All they see was the charitable event.
Right. Yeah.
Understand?
Yeah, that's what they're gonna go on.
And then next year we're gonna do it again.
Right.
And then next year we're gonna do it again. So the same boy I got a book bag at 5 is the same one I'm gonna give it to at 6.
Right.
And when he turns 7, I got another. Oh yeah, I know you. I remember the family.
That's not.
2 years in a row.
That ain't impacted.
Oh, we really didn't teach them, sustainability.
No, anything you taught them is that you can get something for free.
Right. We didn't go. And I'm not saying. Let me just be clear too, because I don't want to be misunderstood. I'm not saying that people don't do the in between.
No,
Right?
no, no.
I'm not saying that doesn't happen.
I'm just bringing this topic up to talk about it because it needs to be talked about.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
You know, it doesn't happen prevalently, and if it did, we would see that these drives. Now, mind you, there's a lot of people that need help, so drives are important. Understand? I'm not saying charitable events are not important because uh, many are called, but few are chosen. Understand? So I understand, like the workers that really do the work is not a lot of us. Understand? So you need people to give in charity and things like that. But I'm for the notion of what are we doing after? Understand? Like how are we really being active? I know that the lives that people I impact give charity. Understand? So I'm never gonna question charity, right?
Right.
But what are we doing after the fact?
Yeah, that's
what
right.
in the background.
That's what I want to aim for.
And I challenge these churches. I challenge these whoever philanthropists, and whoever gives charity at these events to make a connection with the families. So after the fact, you can see, hey, why did you have to come here in the first place? Understand?
Yeah.
Like, what's the, what led you here? Was it just free stuff? Did you really need it?
What did he say?
Were you really in need? And if you really was in need, or how could we help you further?
Right. Yeah, because you have people that show up to those events that don't really don't need nothing from nothing, but they just
bring the kids on. That's one thing, but got families there that really need it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do we really, after this day? Okay, you got your book bags, you got your toys, you got your house. After that runs out, what do we do? How can we help you?
Right. I mean,
Understand?
Me personally, I would have had got everybody's number just to make sure I could continue to see what they had. I would check on people. You know what I mean? I would pop up at your house. You know what I'm saying? Because at the same time, I'm seeing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh yeah, we can talk all day, but if I'm coming to see you, then I know what you got going on. Oh, your living arrangements is kind of, well, I know I can make a couple more phone calls. We about to keep it going. We ain't about to just stop with a book bag or some pencils or a crayon. You know what I'm saying? I'm really going through to help you through your life. Yeah, that too. Right. Yeah, that's all materialistic.
Candy, all that. Like, I remember one time.
Your well-being is way more valuable, right, than any of that. Any of that, like seriously, right?
Because you could.
Because I know if you go into a situation, you got to know that if I'm behind your back 100%, oh, I'm about to take your kids in. I'm about to check on your wife to make sure she's okay. You know what I mean? Because I know you ain't in a position to do it myself.
I know one thing: information is important.
Right.
So a lot, like you could give information, like, listen, if you didn't know that these help was available, this help is available. Understand? You don't gotta wait for this date to get help.
Right.
You could
help is provided every day.
Every day you could tap into. And that's just me though, understand. I just wanted to bring it to the forefront. Like, yo, I see all these events. I don't knock them, understand. But for WeChat here, it's like, yo, we're into impacting people on an individual level. Understand?
Absolutely.
And,
I mean,
just in the natural occurrence of things, synergy, they're gonna impact somebody else.
Right. Exactly. And yeah, that's what you want.
That one is gonna bring two. Yeah. That two is gonna bring four. That four is gonna bring 10.
Right. Yeah. It multiplies.
Understand? And we duty bound. So like I say, like, you don't gotta see us, but we here.
Like, and then, at the end of the day, we appreciate all of the, the love, all the negative feedback. We appreciate all that because at the end of the day, we're gonna still keep moving forward. We powered by the Lord. Ain't nothing gonna stop what we got going on, and we're gonna continue to reach out to actually touch somebody. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. I was at work yesterday, and the lady came in the store, 70 years old. And she wanted to find a cross puzzle book. And I was like, oh, I used to do those when I was a kid. And she was like, yeah. I said, yeah. I said, I had a real thick book. She said, don't nobody know about that book. I said, yeah. She said, okay. So we got to talking spiritually after that. And she was telling me about the Lord, and I was telling her about WeChat here and what we're doing in the community and how we're going to go global and things of that nature. And her spirit was somewhat down when she came into the store, but she didn't want to come to the store. But God told her to go to the store. She ran into me.
Mm-hmm.
We had our spiritual conversation. We were talking so long that we were really ignoring what was around us. Because sometimes a person can interrupt something and when it's sealed,
right,
ain't no stopping.
That's right.
And somebody, two people try to stop our conversation. Didn't work. We kept talking. Hey, excuse me, we're talking like that. Pardon me, give me a minute. I was not going to let anything come in between this conversation because at the end of the day, by her being 70 years old, I'm being 39 years old. For a woman to tell me how powerful I am, how uplifting that I had made her personally within her soul, is going to perish with us for the rest of our life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was so overwhelming for me to where I was just joyful. You know what I'm saying? To where I could have really cried because it was like, wow. You know what I mean? How we come from racism, how we come from the world shifting into a negative way, and how she said she's been pushing. Well, that is more so the devil's present than the Lord. I told her no, not at all. God's gonna always be present, day and night. And man, I'll never forget Lisa. I forget a lot of names, bro. But man, Lisa, I ain't gonna never forget.
Oh, and that's I'm glad you said that. That's real. I just want to say this is an impact that we exude. Understand? This is the type impact that doesn't get recorded.
No,
understand? No. That's not a charitable event, or nobody would know about it unless spoke it. Understand? So that was just a great testimony, just to understand, like when we say, yo, we're in the community, but you may not see us. That's just a prime example of the impact, understand, of just conversation. But it doesn't have to be,
It don't have to be praised for 100 years.
No. That's not because that's not what that's not
That's not the right exactly, bro.
when
Operate different.
I don't care if the podcast has one subscriber. Understand? Will we like more subscribers?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But now, if I impact more than one person in the real world,
Right.
not in the digital world, but in the real world, I'm good.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, man. It's very, very powerful and grateful for somebody to reach out to you that's out the country to say, hey, man, you saved my life today. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, wow. I had to reach back out to the guy to let him know, hey, I appreciate that you even listening to my reel and that you're still here. He said, yeah, man, you saved my life with your man. I said, what?
real.
So, at the end of the day, like I tell everybody, you don't have to wake up in a negative mood. You don't have to roll with the devil. You know what I'm saying? God is definitely present every day, all day. So, anytime that you want to wake up to shift your life in a better way, do.
Always to right. A negative charge.
It's a negative reaction.
No, but watch this. A negative charge is nothing without a positive charge. Like it's a circuit. So you have to have your negative to complete the circuit.
Right.
Understand? So don't ever look at negative as negative.
I can tell y'all something.
Don't want to go over your head with that.
You never jump 2 dead batteries.
So sometimes the negative in your life, you could use that to fuel you. And don't let your negative be negative.
You're right.
I'm just saying, you understand? It's a circuit of life. Right. We got negative and positive. We got pros and cons. Mm-hmm. And one doesn't exist without the other. So taking the good with the bad is something that I have employed in my life because I realized, no, it is good and bad. It says in the scriptures that it rains on the just and unjust. Okay. Understand? It doesn't just rain on the unjust. It rains on the just too. So taking the good with the bad is something I'm willing to do because that's just life. Right. It's not gonna be all good.
No, it's not. And then not only that, you're gonna learn as you go through.
Right.
Whatever you go through.
Yeah, it's never gonna just be all good. Right. And that's where people be devastated at. I know. Where they think, oh, it's gonna be all. I'm not saying don't think optimistically to where you're looking for a positive outcome. But just know sometimes there's going to be setbacks. And it's okay. Because the victory is still yours. Understand?
That's the key.
The key is the victory is never going to be not there. Right. You just got to keep going through.
Absolutely. It'll always be a two-way street.
Those who endure until the end will be saved.
Right.
You just got to get to the finish line. The victory is already there though. So never look at a negative as a negative. Understand? Right. Just look at it like it's a circuit to life. Mm-hmm. Understand? I tell
everybody's on a different time. Right. Your time may be faster than mine. You know what I'm saying? But as long as I come around that mountain, I'm coming. Give me a minute.
But yeah, man. Listen, be impactful in your communities, right? And if your impact is charity, cool. What are you doing after the charitable event?
Right. Understand? Yeah. Let that go. Just as far as
and then
what you do.
For me, like Jay-Z said, anonymous to anonymous. Understand? That's how I give charity. You would never know. You would never know. Those who know because I gave.
Right.
But that's it.
Exactly.
Saying that's how I'm holding it. What else, bro? How you been, man?
I'm still blessed, man. You know what I'm saying? Even when the storms come through, I'm still blessed. You know what I'm saying? Even when bad days come around, I'm still joyful and grateful. You know what I'm saying? Because I know, like you said, the victory is already ours. So it's like, oh, okay, this is a bad day. Hey, we gonna get through it. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no bad days. The future is bright.
No bad days, the future is bright.
And that is a fact. That's for everybody, man.
So you know what determines a bad day? When we deem it a bad day.
Right.
Like it could be a lot of turbulence that goes on in the days. But once we deem it a bad day, that's when it's categorized as a bad day.
Yeah.
Because our mind really puts out weight.
Right.
Understand?
Yep. I'm gonna tell you what helped me throughout life a lot was I was thankful and grateful for everything I worked for. As far as my house, cars, et cetera, et cetera. But I always stepped outside my own box to see that a lot of people don't have what you have. Well,
Right.
you understand? Like a lot of people ain't got no video games, 100 games, 50 games, whatever, just anything. You know what I mean? Materialistic wise. So I always, in my home, man, I always was in the house, but I always stepped outside my house too, to see that other side, to know that, to go outside your house and turn around and you look back at it and say, oh yeah, we getting somewhere.
Right.
Man, that's gonna always stick with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Even really when you have all this, around you and you lose your income.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're trying to figure out, well, I got to put the E and B back, together to get to C. You know what I'm saying? So I just look at it like, man, I'm glad that God took me through all my hard times and showed me all the people that is my family, that's blood, that's not really family. I'm glad he opened my eyes to a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because I needed to see everything when I was blind for a long time.
My mother and father are those, and my siblings are those who do the will of God.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I'm just thankful and grateful, that I'm still rolling, man.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't never stopped the train, bro.
Sure.
Life can be overwhelming sometimes, but you got to know you got to go through that breakthrough.
The satisfying part is when life will come overwhelming. Just know the victory is yours already.
Right. Exactly.
You just got to endure to the end. Understand?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I just got to keep pushing. It's okay. Yeah, I'm having some turbulence today, but tomorrow's gonna be greater. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to tomorrow.
Absolutely. That's a fact. It's mind and soul. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie to you, but it's mind and soul, man. You know what I mean? That's what I roll with. That's just what it's gonna be. And then, like I said, God got way more in store things for us. Way more in store things for We Chat here at LLC.
We building. We about to build the streets of gold.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We about have the land form with milk and honey.
Yes. Yes, sir.
If you don't know what that is, tap into WeChat. Right. Saying we can educate you.
Absolutely.
On what the streets of gold really is and what the form of milk and honey really represents. Understand? So listen, no bad days. The future is bright. Understand? Yeah. This is just happenstance.
Absolutely.
See, we are wrong.
True.
Works.
Right.
Yeah, you can get it on Etsy. You can get it on the Weeks and Air shop. Listen, don't. And let me just say this, right?
Step.
It's better to blaze a trail than to get behind the train. Understand? And I'm not saying that to sell promo, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm like the Statue of Liberty. I'm forever gonna be lit. Understand? However, I'm just saying it's better for me. It's better to blaze a trail than to get behind a train.
Man, you said a mouthful right there.
So tap in.
Yeah.
We're not here long, but we here forever.
Yeah.
Don't let that go over your head. Live life, love life, pursue happiness fearlessly. Understand. That is it.